Imagine having sushi every day for lunch. What would your ultimate daily meal be? That's just one of many silly questions I start off my roundtable calls for my guys of the 100-day fat loss challenge I call the call to rise. Why, you may ask? Because we need to connect. We need to get to know each other, support each other, and connecting over silly questions, you break down the barriers of communication really fast. I've been doing this for a long time, and it's a secret tip that I have on doing that. The brotherhood is the fifth pillar of the call to rise. It is a strong part of why I even created the program in the first place. Like-minded men connecting with each other with the common goal of getting healthier, more fit, and learning nutrition so that they can live in a healthy, happy body, that they don't have to wonder what diet should they do in 5 years when they have more unwanted belly fat because of the stressors of life. In my experience, the men I work with have the same handful of issues they struggle with, such as late night stress eating being one of them. Now we overcome these issues and stress together. Welcome to Driven for Health podcast episode 78, the Call to Rise Roundtable live coaching call, where we dive deep into the stories of transformation and triumph of what they are overcoming. These guys are doing big things in their lives, from Danny performing a ruck marathon here in another month to many other personal challenges that men have to overcome in their lives as well. Join us as we explore what happens when they choose the power to change for themselves and the better, and their pursuit of personal happiness and growth and health.
All right. Welcome to the Call to Rise Roundtable. Excited to have you today. We're welcoming a new gentleman. Mike and I actually go way back. He was in the beginning of my career. I used to take classes that I used to do and ab classes and stuff, right?
Yep. When I had abs. Yep. I had
And
abs and I had
in,
hair.
yeah,
They're still there. They're still there.
right. All right. I think I got everything set. We're good. All right. Last thing. So Mike joined in yesterday, and this is his first full day on board. So really happy to have you. All right. Let's jump in. We always open up with a silly question. And if you could have something every day for the rest of your life for lunch, what would it be?
Does it have to be healthy?
No, can be whatever you want.
Does it have the same effect on our body?
Probably.
No
Not
effect.
in, I'm going with sushi.
Oh,
That's what I'm doing. I'm going sushi every day for lunch for sure.
I'm gonna do a lobster roll with Tabasco sauce.
Yeah.
Mine's
What's up?
pizza. Mine's pizza for sure. I'm
All
a
right.
pizza junkie.
All right. All right. Danny, what are you eating?
For me, it would be mango, which mango is mashed plantains. It's a very famous dish in DR. So I would eat that with fried eggs. So we call it the tres golpes, which translates as a three hits, which is mashed plantains, which is called mango, with fried salami, with fried eggs, and with fried cheese. That's what I would.
Really interesting.
Man.
Fantastic. Let me tell you what. There's a reason why I don't eat it every day. You feel me?
Fried eggs and fried salami and cheese. That's pretty cool.
And plantains.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mashed plantains. You mash them up like mashed potatoes, but with plantains.
That is awesome. That is awesome. All right, let's go around and let's jump into some of the successes. Danny has been going full tilt. So let's go over some of his successes first. He's got a staycation going on, his first vacation in a minute, in a hot minute. Look at him. He's super
Woo.
excited.
I am. Where do I begin? So today was supposed to be a rest day, and I did take somewhat. So I hit the gym and such. Yeah, I did do a little bit less of walking and things. So that's good. Just my success was listening to my body, because I don't listen. I don't listen to my body. So I want to go until I break, and then that's bad because I'm preparing for my whatever. So then that was a success for me today, was for me to get a limited amount of steps and say that that's okay because it's for the bigger picture.
Yep. And you're gonna go hike, eh?
Yeah, I'm gonna hike every day in my vacation. So also that too. So
yeah. Have you found places to go yet?
yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Yeah, that's awesome. How many places you going to?
About 6 or 7. So I
Mhm.
varied it. So for example, tomorrow I'm gonna go to a spot that's like a mountain. Not a mountain. It's a waterfall. So I'm hitting a waterfall tomorrow. On Friday, I'm gonna hit a mountain. And then basically that's how I'm gonna do. So then make it easy, hard, and then kind of vary it and such.
Oh, that's awesome.
I got all my gear, which is pretty exciting. I have a lightweight pack, but it's heavy enough. Nothing crazy, but little stuff, first aid kit, and I actually have little hiking sticks. It's pretty cool.
Good. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, Mike, so he's doing a ruck marathon. They literally a 26-mile walk with a pack rucking. Oh, he's got a lot of training to do. I'll be right back.
Well, while he goes, I am the psycho of the group, right? So when it comes to working out and training, coach has to tell me to slow down, right? Yeah.
That says a lot, dude.
Yeah, he's full tilt.
It's a good psycho.
Yeah, he's a good psycho. Here we go. Here's my branded podcast mug that my family got me. This is the original logo, and I've changed it 3 times now. A little self promotion.
You gotta throw the shameless plug, man. You gotta do it.
Yeah, shameless plug. Yep, I just
Danny, there's
released
nothing. Brian.
Danny, our episode 71 was a couple weeks ago when you and I had the solo live coaching call. So that just popped out, and then 72 was on something. 70 was the 5 breakfast. So you guys see that one? Did I send you the 5 breakfast PDF? No, Mike did. Lucas, did you see it?
I haven't. Oh wait, no, that one with the 5 ideas. Yeah.
Yeah, good. All right,
I think you should add. I think
this is my dinner.
Hey, Danny, I think what you were saying about the plantains and the salami and the cheese and the egg should be full of protein, man.
Yes.
Can you send that in the group, please? I like everything in that because
Heck yeah.
I want to remember that.
Maybe bacon instead of salami.
The main reason why I don't eat it all the time is because traditionally it's cooked really unhealthily. Because traditional Dominican food is not healthy. So that's why it's a very sometimes food.
It's a very tasty, enjoyable. What's for dinner here?
A little bit of rice, some steak, and a lot of veggies. And the pickled carrots that I was telling you about.
Yeah. Well, how's that pickle? So what we talked about is adding a little bit of flavor without calories, and pickling was what Danny came up with.
Mm-hmm. And it's fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Excellent. And one more thing, Mike, how much weight have you lost, Danny?
Last time I weighed myself, I was 214.
14.
I started at 249.
Yep.
35 pounds.
He's been smart. He's full tilt. That's excellent.
Since November.
Yeah. Yep.
Good
So
for you.
we got good things for you, Mike.
Awesome.
All right, Lucas, what's one positive thing going on? Lucas, unfortunately, he was down in Florida. That was positive, but he came back in a COVID or something.
Yep. I'm on the back end of COVID right now. So I've had that. I've had that for the past couple. You probably hear it a little raspy. But yeah, I went down to Florida, saw some family, which was awesome. I got to run. I ran 15 miles in 2 days, which was great because winter's been rough here. It's been so rough.
Yeah, it was
And
pretty frigid, right?
yeah, but I think we've kind of turned a corner though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Today
Yeah,
was amazing. Yeah, and I think it's just like milder temps are ahead. So get to get out and run a little more, and my run club will be doing it more often. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, so went down to Florida, caught something there, I'm pretty sure, came back and just absolutely knocked me out. About Tuesday night was when I started to feel it. I got back Monday. And it was just a horrible headache. I don't know if you guys have had COVID before, but
yeah.
it just awful headache, like sore throat, fever, like all that stuff. And so it's probably like a good 3 days. I just couldn't even move just because I had the aches and the chills and all that stuff. So I'd say the positive thing over the past week is I didn't gain any weight, considering I just just sat around and didn't just rested and didn't gain any weight. So that's a small thing, but that's a success I think for COVID.
Yeah, it would be. Recover quickly so you can get right back to it.
Yeah, I feel a lot better today. I've just been pounding the Mucinex and the fluids and the Pedialyte and that's what kind of does it, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Keeps you hydrated, and fluids are going to be the key thing there, and rest. Will you be able to run on Saturday at all, or do a light jog, or probably wait till next week?
Yeah, I'm going down to I'm going down to South Carolina tomorrow actually. So we're doing like a little with our whole family. We're doing like a little short beach trip. So me and my brother are gonna run like we did on Thanksgiving whenever we did our 8K. So he and I are gonna go on a couple,
Okay,
which will be good.
nice, awesome.
Has
Awesome.
the Rona affected your lungs any?
Yes. And that was the thing too about like I'm trying to remember when I first I Brian, which day was it? I think Sunday was beautiful. I can't remember, but I went outside. I'm like, I gotta move. Like I gotta do something. And so I go outside and like I like had a hard time breathing. Like my nostrils were
Yeah.
so tender and my throat was like I had to go back in because like I was like my lungs were so overwhelmed. So yeah, it's affected my lungs for sure. It'll all get better.
Well, for reference, Mike Lucas, in the first 100 days, he lost 30 pounds, and then he's sticking around for the part two, I call the Vanguard, and we're working on marathon training. It doesn't pair well with COVID or lungs, but we've got some extended goals, right? We got to get the weight going down to the goal
Mhm.
weight, the actual
Yep.
goal weight. So what are we, about 20 pounds away?
Yep.
And we need that going in the right direction here in the next 3 weeks or so, right? And then off we go with that. So
Wait,
Yep.
your marathon is in 3 weeks?
no, or is it October? I think it's
October, yeah.
October or Columbus.
I'm doing the Columbus Marathon. Yep.
Yep.
Wow. That's good, man. I didn't know that you were a psycho too.
It's the slight psycho.
Yeah, you're a choir psycho. Like coach. Coach is psycho too. Mike, don't let him fool you. I know you know him from the past. I'm sure he was a psycho back then too. He's just quiet.
Oh yeah, I was. Say my identity, Mike, is still of when we last saw each other back at Lifestyles. Like that's the same person I am, but my body's not wanting to whatever. So I had been running for a while. I was starting to build up mileage. My oldest son ran the Akron Marathon last year, and he's been poking at me to run it. So I decided, and they say first, second week in January, and I started training. I started logging miles. I got about 35 miles ran. I was running between 3 to 6 miles, and about 3 Thursdays ago, I ran. I got 4 miles in, no big deal. We were on the towpath and it's slippery, so I think my glutes was a little strained from trying not to slip on ice. I went 2 extra miles, and then I was sore. Those 2 miles is probably shouldn't have done it. It was just sore, and then that was a Thursday. All weekend it was sore. Monday it had that super heavy snow that just piled up inches and inches, and I shoveled 2 hours and 24 hours. Then we went sled riding, and I was sled riding. My kids were dragging me down the hill, Everett and Maxwell, my middle two, and they would not let me up the hill. So I'm fighting them off, and there's probably even more strain. I'm slipping on the hill, and they're tugging on me and pulling. And then about 25 minutes later, we're playing a hide and seek, and I went to go run, and pop, there goes my glute.
Oh,
And since then, there's just a real nice itis going on, some sort of a tendonitis. Gemini and I are having real candid conversations about my glute on and recovering process and different things. And I can bike. I cannot run. So if I run, right, and then I reach that left leg out in that moment, the picking up to getting ready to put down, pain, especially right before I put it down. It doesn't want to stabilize. So it's definitely a glute, and it's a hamstring issue that I'm dealing with. Recovery is literally like 8 weeks. It's just, and I just don't want it to be, and it's gonna be, and that's the fact on the glute. So I'm gonna airdyne. I'm gonna do the fan bike and build my cardiovascular system up here. I've done about 20 to 40 minutes for pretty much a week and a half now, and I'll just keep doing that until I can get my glute back in order, so that when I start running again, I didn't just take a month or two off of running or training or getting my legs in order for a marathon. Really annoying.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Yep.
You doing?
Coach. Let's call it what it is, man. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
You were popping booty in the club, and you got old. That's what it is, Coach. Stop playing.
This whole
I
other
wish it was-
story.
Danny, I've seen his booty, and there's no pop in his booty, man. No, sorry, dude, not happening. Hey, Brian, you're telling me that Levi ran a marathon at 15 years of age?
Yeah. Ridiculous. And he didn't really train. He just, I'm going to go run a half marathon. He literally one day.
Jeez.
So I took him to the towpath over in Barberton, and he ran to Summit Lake, and that was the halfway point. And then I was on phone calls, so I drove, and I was at the turnaround to give him water because it was 90 degrees that day in the summer. And so he turned around, chugged water, grabbed some food, and then shipped back out back to the drop off point. And yeah, he ran a half marathon on his own accord, and he ran it a couple times at various points. And he said, "I want to run a marathon." It's Brian as a professional. It's not the best idea at 16 to run a marathon, but Brian as the athlete and the go-getter, heck yeah, you should do that. And he did. I was jealous. when he was at the line, and I couldn't go with him. So
That's a
yeah,
good
pretty
time
wild.
too.
Oh yeah, it's very good. I was blown away. I said, dude, this is what's up.
Good for
Ooh,
him.
And,
flying.
and he's going to do it again. He wanted to run more. He wanted to run one 2 weeks after. Said, dude, you're going into swim training. We're good. One marathon, we're good, and we'll do another one next year. Okay. So
Sounds like
and
he's got
then
Ironmans in his future, huh?
he did a triathlon in September at Portage Lakes and did it in about he placed ninth, first in his age
Wow.
group, and
Ninth
yeah, he's doing,
overall.
yeah. If he would have
Oh,
raced when I raced back in the day, he would have placed top 30. Still pretty good, but he wouldn't have beat Papa. He'll beat me now, though, unfortunately. But yeah, he did really well. He's a swimmer, then a runner, and then cyclist in that order. So he was one of the top few people out of the water, and he just kept a good pace the whole time. So it's pretty wild. All right, moving on. Identity question. So, one question will go round robin here. When you are under pressure, stress, challenge, you're tired, weary, at the end of a long day, what is the default version of yourself that shows up? Danny's at the top of my stack. So, we'll start with Danny. When you're under
you
pressure, you're tired, what's the default version of you that shows up?
very good question. And I am delaying because I'm thinking. Honestly, it depends on what the pressure is and such. Because let's say that it's pressure because I have to meet a deadline, then okay, that's one thing. Or let's say that I'm in pressure because I'm in danger and I'm in security mode. That's a whole nother one. So
Yeah.
if I was in a security mode situation in life or death, then I will go into my training and I will make sure that I go into like robot mode and I'll be
Yeah.
like, go, you do this, you do this, you do this. And I'm not very nice, but I'm very directive. Like, you go do this, you go do this, do this, call cops and whatever. If it's pressure, let's say that I'm in a situation where like social pressure, then at that point, then I try to take myself out of it, take a deep breath and try to see and try to pull myself back from that situation.
Right.
Now, coming home from work in that sense, then I'm more relaxed. I sometimes take a moment just to recharge myself and such because I talk to people all day long. So for like half hour, I try
Yeah.
to
Right.
not talk to nobody just to recharge myself and then go back at it.
Okay. All right. All right. We'll go Lucas, then Mike, then I'll answer.
Well, yeah, I think it. Yeah, similar to Danny, I think it depends on the context. I guess. I think for me, like something I'm good at is if I'm under pressure, I don't feel like I take it out on other people. I think I'm good at going inward for better or for worse. I think for me, that's kind of where I always go if I'm overwhelmed, whether it's something work related or if it's social or something family, friends. I feel like I kind of isolate or go inward. Like it's
Mhm.
kind of my instinct, which can be good and bad. I mean, it's bad because like you're shutting out people, but
Sure.
it's good because you're not, I guess, taking it out on people at the
Right.
same time, whatever stress you're feeling. So yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it just kind of depends, I guess. But it's kind of
Real quick,
where I go.
too, I'm curious with being away from family and just being on your own, how does that impact? How is that different from you living at home and that area versus now living states away?
Yeah, I mean, I really wanted it. I mean, because at the time, at least, because I came from like I was living with some people. I just was a little toxic and was just kind of ready for a change of scenery. And so living by myself is like totally different in a newer city. But yeah, it's not as good, I would say, because I mean, ideally, you'd want to be surrounded by the right people that
Right. We're
makes
working on
life.
it, right?
Yeah, and
We're
that
working
makes
on it.
that makes the burdens of life a little easier to carry. Um, but yeah, so it has its downsides and its upsides too.
Okay. Yep.
You chose to move to Cleveland?
I was moved up here with a, yeah, I graduated and then so I had a company that moved me up. And I did a development program with them, and then
So you're just
got
happy to get a job. I'll do
yeah,
it.
yeah. And my thing was like, I had lived in the same place my whole life, and I was
Yeah.
like, you know what, might as well, like single, I have the
Right.
flexibility, like let's just go ahead and do it. So I took the leap and did it, and it's been a growing experience for sure.
Yeah.
Where'd you move from, Lucas?
Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh, I've never been there. No, I just asked. I'm from Cleveland. My parents were from Italy, and I like Cleveland a lot. It's just it gets a really bad rap, and I think a lot of it has to do with maybe some political stuff, but mainly the weather. But I think Cleveland's a great place. I've been to a lot of places in the country, not every single state like Brian, but I think Cleveland's a pretty cool place, especially if you
Yeah.
can find, because most people in Cleveland choose to be here. They're
Right.
unlike you, they're not necessarily transplanted here. People go to
Yep.
Chicago, Atlanta, Boston, all these cool towns. They want to go there, but people staying in Cleveland tend to be from here and are pretty real and genuine. So,
Yeah.
how long you been here?
So a little under 2 years.
Okay. Well, hopefully you're starting to find some decent people. You got some great stuff out there. If nothing else, I can teach you how to fly fish, man. There's really good people in the fly fishing world. They're just genuine,
Yeah.
nice, helpful people that like being outside.
I love it in the summer. It really is nice. A lot of good kayaking and hikes and golf and
Yep.
so it's
Metro
the summer
parks.
months are yeah, the summer months are wonderful, but the winter is very, very difficult.
Yeah, especially coming from south a little bit. Yeah. I
Yeah.
hear you.
Yep, absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
interesting, Mike, that you said that though, because I thought that Cleveland was ghetto as fuck.
Was what?
I thought it was
Yeah,
ghetto
no.
as fuck.
So when you talk downtown Cleveland, yeah. So when I talk Cleveland, I consider the suburbs. I'm about 20 miles south of downtown
Yeah.
Cleveland. Ryan and I are like
Yeah.
middle class, white, very
Yeah.
ethnic neighborhoods around here. But Cleveland is a little dangerous. East Cleveland is just terrible. East Cleveland is poverty, terrible politics, leadership. When I say politics, I'm talking mayors that are, bad people. But the food scene is great. The sports
Yeah.
are pretty darn good. Traffic's not
West
bad.
Side.
The orchestra is fantastic. The art museum's fantastic. People that come to Cleveland without any, with maybe a bad impression, Danny, when they leave, they're like, wow, that's a pretty cool place. But
Yeah.
we're talking 2 or 3 days worth of stuff. Whereas you go to these other big cities and you got, weeks worth of stuff to do.
I've been to a lot of cities, and they're ultimately the same. I mean, literally down to the museums and the offerings and everything. And you just have to find the people that you can resonate with. That's one thing that Lucas and I had been shifting a bit and encouraging to find new activities, hence the running group, and not just hang out with people of proximity. Go
Mhm.
find people that you can connect with, and then he's done a great job of branching out from that, from
Yeah.
hanging out at the bar
I
to getting to bed early on a Friday night to get up to run.
yeah, I had a group through work and it was basically just like a drinking club. And I kinda just got to a point where I was like, I just want something more and like just want to do something that's bettering, myself too. And so I mean I moved up here. I didn't know anybody in the city and I moved by myself. And so when I look back on that, I'm like, that's kind of a bold move. and you got to know that that takes time if you're gonna take that path to, I guess, feel integrated in a new city. But like you have to keep like putting yourself out there. That's what I've learned is go to running clubs, and it's like you go to a lot of things and you're like, okay, I don't know anybody, but everybody knows everybody, and it feels that way in Cleveland because, like you said, everybody's here, uh, so people have their groups, and they can be a little insular, in my opinion. So you got to put yourself out there.
That's it. Fortune
Free.
favors the bold, my friend.
Yep,
The
yep.
what?
We got to create. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Danny.
Exactly.
I was gonna say that fortune favors the bold. You know, if you were stuck in that area for your whole life, and based on what you were saying, that's a great move. Bold, sure, but hey, look at you now. You know, 100 pounds less. You do running a marathon, looking amazing.
100. Yep. To
Yep,
do it.
yep. Danny and I are talking a lot about creation and change in his world for the better, for a big better. So, but you have to create. That's coming back from days with Mike. It literally had to Scott Crabiel. You have to create something to get what you want. And so, say the ab class or the shake and bake on Friday night, or
That I
all
almost
the
puked. That's what it was called. I couldn't remember the flipping
shake
name.
and bake.
You should change the name to Shake and Puke. There's no bacon involved, dude. It's just shake and puke.
Oh, so good.
True
so good.
story. I had to go to the subway in there to get something. They thought I was going to pass out. Hey, talk about embarrassing, man. But, I went back
Can
to
I
his
have a
class.
cookie real quick, man? I need to get my blood sugar up.
Yeah, I needed the sugar. I'm like, crap.
Yeah, yeah. It's just unfortunate. It's bad nutrition.
Thanks.
And
Thanks,
training
Brian.
before you push yourself that you almost threw up.
Yeah, because of Brian.
I had these quarter sheets of paper, so something like this, and I would write down the workouts of what we would do at the shake and bake, and I would bring them home and leave them on the counter. I would drive my wife crazy, Amber crazy, but I had a stack of them like this big. It was just individual sheets, just so many that from that, because I was there for 5 years or so.
It was
and
Friday night, guys, at like 5 to 6 or 6 to 7. There were maybe 6 or 7 of us that would go to
Yep.
this. I don't
Yep.
think we paid extra for this kick-ass class, and just the motivation that you didn't want to be the slacker. And so, maybe that's part of what Brian does with this call to rise. I don't know. But I definitely pushed myself harder because those people were there and because Brian
Yep.
was there than I ever would have pushed myself on my own.
Yep, yep. The tide rises all boats. I'm the tide. You guys are my boats. So
Yeah.
there you go. The same situation still exists here.
I might
right,
be
Mike, it's your turn.
the rubber ducky.
That's all right. Mike, your question. So under stress, pressure, challenge, obviously you had a pretty challenging season so a little bit ago, but what's the default version of yourself that shows up?
Yeah, so it depends on what the stress is, right? If it's stress due to my interactions with my grown kids or my wife, I shut down and I internalize and I become not the best version of myself. If
Yeah.
it's work related or assignment related, I push through it and I am probably motivated by the stress that would be there. If it's because I'm tired or angry or something like that, again, I probably maybe when that's the situation, I might lash out a little bit. Um, so those are probably some of the things I would say. It really depends on the situation. It can range from it being motivating to me totally shutting down to me being a dick.
Right. All right. Thank you for sharing. I would concur. Those are some of the things that I end up resonating with. I'm a very go get 'em person and driven, and I will just stay up. I'll run through walls. But when it comes to say like family or wife, there's sometimes there's like, man, I could use a beer. Did use something to manage this? I remember a number of times this map back here. We're driving around all over the U.S. and whatnot. And there'd be points I remember I have very fond memories of traveling all over the US with my family, but there'll be points too where it's wow, I'm spending a lot of time and money to feel this way because there'd just be stress and challenge of dealing with 4 young kids. We wrapped up traveling the United States 2 summers ago. We got our 50th, which was Vermont, and that was 2 summers ago. And then it started in 2015, 16, something like that is when we started. So it was about 8 years of go, go, go. And we would just go all over the place. But or there'd be times where it'd be waiting in the I'd be in the car, Amber's in any hotel. I've stayed in so many hotels, in particular at Universal Studios. I can remember waiting, sitting in the car while Amber's in there, and I'm trying to corral kids in there. Literally, they're climbing on seats and yelling, and the time that she takes, the longer the worse it gets. And I would just leave the car. I would just go get out of the car and walk off, and just try and not yell. So I had
Mhm.
some night as well, and something the other thing just more personal is so when say like my wife and I are bickering or there's challenge there, and I will retreat, I will retract, I will get very quiet and sad even or feel lonely in a sense. So I do feel those emotions as well.
Yeah,
So,
I think back to the way I grew up and I look at my dad and how he would treat us when he would yell and different things like that. And unfortunately, even though I don't want to emulate that, there's times I do that. So I definitely have some awareness finally
yeah,
about and how even though my kids are 20, almost 27 and 23, how that can impact them
right,
and mess with their psyche. So I'm aware of it and I'm getting better.
right. I
That's
the
half the
same.
battle, though, Mike. Right there, man, is just understanding and knowing.
You're
Mhm.
yeah, absolutely, Danny. Yeah, I agree. I was at a men's meeting a couple months ago, and we had this psychologist talking at this church group, and I don't know these people from Adam. I was invited to go, and I didn't know that they were going to be talking about everyone's relationship with their father. So I was
Mm.
just like a blubbering idiot in front of these total strangers. But it was good. This
Yeah,
vulnerability. Brene Brown talks about
right.
vulnerability and um I don't want to say the word cathartic because I don't know what that means, but it was very um, eye opening,
Right,
and it felt good, and so it just
right.
made me more aware. And I've actually spoken to my kids about that. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. With my kids, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Then I'm not good. And it's usually because they don't listen or they're not doing the things. That can be. I'm very much more matter of fact, in a sense of do this and then we can do that. Laying or put it off or just don't do it. Then I start to boil over, and then I will yell. I don't yell very often, but yeah, every once in a while I'll get a little heated, and it will come out and stuff. And that's when I'm like, hey, I could use a beer right now. So, all right. Thanks for sharing, gentlemen. Let's move on. Lucas and Danny, with Mike coming in, he understands that there's going to be change, right? There's transformation. There's different things. Nutrition. What is say one or two pointers that you can tell Mike? Think back to your first week or two working with me. What what's a good pointer? What would you tell him? If you could tell yourself, this is it. Yeah, here it is. If you could tell yourself when you first started, what are one or two things that you would tell yourself and share that with Mike?
Ooh, can I start?
Sure,
Yeah, go for it.
you're hot and ready.
Go for it. All right, Mike. Two things. First, keep it simple, man. I overcomplicate a lot of things, especially when it comes to food and things like that, and it gets a little overwhelming. The other day, so I meal prep. That's what I do. I meal prep. I cook
You
once a
can
week.
show him too.
I
Show
could.
him. Mike's gonna be an empty nester, so he has a lot more freedom around his refrigerator or
Space, yeah.
cooking.
Yeah, meal prep and taking time to prepare is not something I'm comfortable or good at, and I hope I do become good at, because they talk about if you fail to plan or whatever, if you whatever that saying is. But yeah, I need to
plan to
get
fail.
into. Thank
That's
you.
bad. So let me show you. I'll be sitting in the middle of the week, but this is how. So I prep for all this on Saturday, and so for the week. So all of these are for the week. This I have here because I'm making a stock for chicken stock. These here I have for flavoring and such, just to get a little bit of umph. And then all these are all meals. And then in terms of, I have these because these are my super sometimes food. And if I
What
leave
is
them
it?
out, they'll go bad, like
What is
candy
it?
and shit.
Oh, okay. So it's like candy bars and sweets and treats and stuff. Right.
Yeah, but I have those as a super sometimes food because they'll go bad if I don't put them in there. And then this is a trick that I got from Coach. So these are, for example, this is lemon pepper turkey. So I have a whole turkey that I shredded here, and I have that ready to rock. So then if there's a day that I don't meal prep, I can just pull this out and then just eat from there.
And
All
that's
of
in a
these-
freezer.
Yeah, these are all in my freezer. From
Okay.
these things are deli containers, which are fantastic. Then here, this is where I have all my meats and such, and then that's like my miscellaneous. And then down here I have veggies, and then here I have a squash that I need to prep one day. That's how I do my meal prepping and such.
So with real quick with Danny, he started with meal prepping and then we simplified it. So he likes to prep. You don't have to prep. I mean, I prep because I have to cook food all the time for my family. And then I just have cooked food available to put into combinations and patterns of food and meals that I eat. And we'll go over that tomorrow. But this is an iteration of making it more simplified. And so when he showed me this the one day, I'm like, ooh, this is good. All right. So I
Yeah.
always make him show it to people.
Yes. So to piggyback on what Coach
beautiful.
was saying, last week, so before meeting Coach, it was a whole project in terms of me planning and me cooking. It would take me hours for me to do all that, and it gets stressful after a while. Last week when I meal prepped, I got my meal, I got my food, I had it all laid out. It took me 10 minutes to prepare for those meals, to plan for the meal. I was like, okay, I'm eating boom, 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 and I'm gonna eat bam, bam, bam. I already know how many calories I'm gonna eat, bam, bam, boom. So that right there, I can tell you, man, just keep it simple, as simple as it can be. And Coach is gonna send you, and especially when you first start, it's gonna be like a million texts and stuff. There's one of the million texts that shows you how to build the plate, right?
Yeah.
And it's very simple, very simple. All you have to do is veggies. So biggest thing is veggies, then protein, then starchy carbs,
Yep.
and then a little bit of fat. You do that. Those 4 steps right there, forget about it, man. I swear to God, man, I lost 10 pounds in the first week just doing that.
Did. Yes, he
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
He's like, oh my gosh. He came onto that call. Like, holy
Yeah.
like magic.
Veggies and I are like oil and water.
Yeah.
So it's just because it takes time, I think, to prep them. So I'm trying to get better at them. So that could be a huge help for me, is learning the
Get
green.
the frozen bags. Get the
Right.
frozen.
Yeah.
I got bags on bags on bags in my freezer of veggies, and I just pop them in the air fryer. And it's quick. And
We do. My son taught us about an air fryer, so that's been a wonderful thing too.
Yeah.
yes,
Mike, that ain't no thing, man. Old Andy, that he's not here no more.
Yeah.
This motherfucker hates veggies, and he lost like 100 pounds. So
He lost 39 pounds, and I could not get him to eat vegetables. One of the best client transformations I think I've had, literally in the top 95% of at least in a time frame of say the 100 days or so. There's only been a couple people that have got around 40 pounds in that time frame, which is insanely good. But what he do, guys, he kept it simple. He tracked his calories, he did 10K steps, and he didn't eat vegetables. He ate fruit instead. We got some
Yeah,
fibrous
fruit
food.
fiber. Yeah.
We broke it down simple, and then no matter what he did, or he traveled, he had two teenager kids, and he traveled a lot. We just had this blueprint that he would follow, and as long as he kept his calories in check, and that's the beauty of what I'm going to share with you tomorrow is most guys have wild success, 10,000 steps or more, and 1,800 calories or less, and it's almost repeatable. Now, for like say for Lucas, that's his that's your formula, right, Lucas? And with Danny, he's moving so much that we have to keep him higher calories, which is fine. And that's one of the challenges with Danny is he's having a lot of movement, like 17,000 steps is a pretty much everyday thing for him. Plus he's rucking and then he's lifting weights. And so we're constantly adjusting around that. But those are the key things that have helped Danny be really successful with it too. And we just keep adjusting or tweaking, or on your long ruck days, Fridays, you get to eat 3,500 calories and you're still losing weight. Sorry, Lucas, but now, if you run long, Lucas, on Saturdays, you can have like 3,000 some calories.
That's true.
Yep.
That's true. Gotta get out and run.
You did that the one day and you felt horrible after because you did not eat enough that day and you were famished.
No, I was like, I feel like I need 3,000 more calories. I think I told you, I'm like, I'm about to like
pass
eat
out
my arm off. Yeah, like I'm so hungry. Like, what did I do wrong? It's like, you're like, you didn't eat. You didn't eat anything, and you ran half a marathon.
You burned 2,000 plus calories before noon and you had 300. It's like, dude, the math doesn't math here, man.
Simple math. Finance guy, you know.
It's so funny too, because when we're doing the refueling days, my body is like, and my mind is like, what's wrong with you? Why are you eating this? Because during those days, I just eat, right? But then I push myself to more than what I normally eat. So then at first it was cool. I was like, okay, now I have to force myself to eat like unhealthy stuff. It's kind of funny.
If is and the things we'll talk about is calories are the most important thing, then eating enough protein, filling up on fibrous foods, limiting your fat because it's really calorie dense, conscious of your carbs because they're always in everywhere, and then you eliminate simple sugars. I call it the simple six. So calories, protein, fiber, fat, conscious of carbs, and eliminate sugar. So when we order it like that and you check the box on, say, fiber in a day and you still have a bunch more carbs to eat, go have a bowl of cereal. Cool. Why? Because it fits the box that we're trying to fit in. It's the puzzle piece that works best in that particular setup. And those are the things that I'm going to share with you of how to discern whether having bowl of cereal is a good idea, or having rice, or going out to eat, or any of those things, so that you just know, because both these two gentlemen can assure you that they just know what to do when in whatever situation they're at. So, and Lucas has traveled quite a bit since Thanksgiving with family and out of state. So what, Tennessee to at least once or twice. You were in Florida, and then somewhere else, like
I went with work. Yeah, I went to Texas for work, and then Texas, Illinois. So a few places, but
so you've been traveling, yeah.
I got one more for you. I got two more, but it depends. Do you train a lot? Are you like somebody that goes to the gym a lot and stuff?
Like 2 to 4 times a week.
Yeah, he likes the gym.
Okay.
He's been very consistent with the gym.
With the gym, one thing that I can tell you is that too, keep it simple and understand the body, right? For example, today, like I was telling you, I was supposed to take a rest day and like not do nothing, but then my mind was going crazy. So then I went to go to the gym. The last time that I ate was like at 12, and I hit the gym at like 7.
Oh.
I was gassed.
Yeah.
Now, before I would easily push through and things like that. But then coach was like, Danny, you need to get the right fuel. I just so happened to have a little bit of candy. I popped a little bit of candy. Boom. I was flying through my workout. I was like, holy crap. So that was amazing.
Yep.
One other thing that I want to tell you that in the nutrition portion that has helped me in social environments.
Yes.
That's my weakness, right? My weakness is I'm a social eater. I will eat. Yep. And even if I'm full, go in there with a game plan, right? Now, my game plan, I always prepare, right? For example, let's say that I know my party's at nighttime. Okay. The way that I look at my calories is I look at the calories as my budget for the day. So if I know that I'm going to spend a lot of money or eat a lot of food and stuff, okay, cool. Then throughout the day, I'll make sure that I eat lots of fiber and lots of things that'll keep me full. So then by the time I go to the party, I can eat a little bit more and spend more money. Now, when I'm actually in the party, I make sure that I get little plates, right? Yeah. Coach is going to make you take pictures of everything you eat. And at first I thought it was stupid, but that's great psychological, because if you take little plates and you take a picture every time you eat, you're like, hey, is this worth the calories? If it's not, then because I don't want to look at coach and be like, hey, I ate, 16,000 calories. He look at me like, what's wrong with you? So those two things have saved. I have lost weight through Thanksgiving, right, through Christmas, through Super Bowl, through whatever. It didn't matter. No matter where I go, whatever party it is or whatever, that's exactly what I do every time.
Thank you. Thanks, man.
It was good. All right, Lucas, what's one or two things that's really
I agree with the keep it simple. I think that's important. I mean, I always had those two things on my mind: 10,000 steps, 1,800 calories. And to me, that was just the daily checklist. Yep. And really just doing those things consistently was helpful. But I would also say, this might contradict it a little bit, but have fun with it too. For me, I think I've always hated, like, I like eating what I like to eat. And so it's like, I wish I didn't like pizza and Oreos. And like, I wish I didn't like that stuff, but it's like, how can I have fun with this? And so I've always been lazier about, I'm just going to cook basic stuff. And so I got into making recipes, and I found this websites, or I didn't find it, Brian sent it to me, is Skinny Taste. And they have all these healthy recipes, and I got into making stuff and had a lot of fun with it too. And it's like, okay, this stuff tastes really good, and it's, wow, that's only 400 calories per serving, and it has 30 grams of protein and 15 grams of carbs and all that stuff. So yeah, I would say that too. I mean, if you like to cook or you want to do more of that, like, find a good website like Skinny Taste, and it gives you good ideas too. Yep. So that helped me a lot. Like, I was sending in the 100 days, I was sending pictures of some of the stuff I was making. Like, I got really into it. I'm like, this is great. Like, I'm making this stuff that's healthy and losing weight, and it actually tastes good.
Yeah. Lucas, you need that for when you want to attract your mate to be able to cook for her.
Exactly.
To have.
Exactly.
Like, hey, come on over and I'll cook dinner.
I know. Now I know how to cook.
Listen, gentlemen, it is true. It is true. If you know how to cook, let me tell you what. I know for Mike, not so much. He's already married. But, Lucas, let me tell you what.
He still needs to
Let's go, lover boy.
Yeah, he needs to get her attention.
Well, it helped during dating when I would cook homemade pasta sauce and bring her over for Sunday, pasta meals and stuff. So yeah, she's a great cook. I'm a decent cook.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My wife doesn't really eat what I make, so
that's good to know, bro.
I don't know how to take that. I think that I make good stuff, but it's her taste buds. It's not my cooking.
That's a nice way of him saying that his sucks. I get it.
Okay, she's like, cook for everyone, not for yourself. Like, there's nothing wrong with this. I made lasagna and everything was amazing about it, but I put red pepper flakes in it and I put too many. I was just gonna put a couple and then more
Oh, I would have liked that.
more poured out, and I blamed it on garlic. Everyone was like, "This is hot. This is spicy." That's what they said. And I just didn't say anything.
So what kind of noodles did you use for your lasagna?
Just normal. So this is this is where you're gonna learn, Mike. No matter what noodle you use, it's the same calorie cost. It's the same carbohydrate cost, even
Yeah.
if it's a
That was
chickpea or the beans or the lentil pastas. It's still the same calorie in carb costs. So it really doesn't matter per se.
Really?
To that, it's the portion. Yeah, look at a nutrition label, whether it's white, wheat, the chickpea and the lentil pastas are going to have a lot more fiber and proteins in them because that's what those are. They are carbohydrates that have protein and fiber, whereas, say, wheat pasta doesn't. So you have to get your fiber other places in vegetables throughout the day, and you have to shrink the portion down because it's just carbs. And those are things that will guide you on. So you can have pasta every night if you want. You're just going to have a portion of it that is appropriate for you to eat.
And what about the effects of gluten? Like some people don't tolerate gluten. Or is that a facade?
Celiac? Are you celiac? Do you have a gluten intolerance?
I think a sensitivity maybe is a better word. I think. I don't know that for a
Maybe.
fact. I'm Italian. And even if I do, tough crap. You're not going to take bread and pasta away from an Italian, okay?
Yeah, right. It's
So I'll have to
ingrained in
learn
ya.
to deal with it.
Yeah, right. You're like, forget intolerances. I'll just suffer through it. But also, here's a simple question is, will you feel the same way when you eat pasta if you just eat this much pasta instead of this much pasta?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good point. I mean, it'll be interesting to try to
Dosage.
get my to pay attention to my calorie count.
Yeah.
Like
The
you guys are talking
dosage
about.
is usually the situation. It's not even too much spinach is bad for you, but you really
Yeah.
have to go to town on eating too much spinach. But with, say, the gluten, it's quick and easy to eat a lot of it. And then when you have bread and pasta, you're doubling up on the same starchy carb, right, guys? That's the same category, and you can't do that. Or if you do, you have to have less of both of them to make that work, or less at other times of the day to make that work, right?
Yep. Budget. The
Mhm.
budget.
And how do you guys learn to just eat until you're no longer full or 80% full? How do you sense that versus just eating? I mean, I don't think I eat to be a glutton by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not intentional with my eating. I don't really think about it. I probably don't chew my food enough, but it's rare that I leave the table where I'm just full enough versus overly full.
That's a great question. Who's answering first?
You're talking, so
Yeah, you
Oh,
you go.
so I meal prep, and I only eat what's in my meal. If I'm in a place where I'm not meal prepping, then I make sure that I eat a lot of the fibrous carbs first.
same.
So I always start with my veggies. Then with my veggies, then I'll eat my protein, and then by that point, I'm already pushing it, and then I'll eat my carbs, my starchy carbs, and it all depends too, right? Because sometimes I don't even rock the starchy carbs. I did today because I came back from the gym, which I learned that from Coach. But if I didn't, and I took a straight rest day today, I would just eat just starch, fibrous carbs and protein, pretty much. That's what I would have ate today.
Good, because it was a rest day.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And,
Yeah.
and little plates. I know it sounds crazy. I know
psychological.
that you know we're grown men, and I don't want to eat off of my daughter's little plate. But let me tell you, man,
He's
those
a
little
grown
plates,
dad. He's got two of them. So
yeah, those little plates. You know why it works is because you start thinking, and that's the thing right there. Is when you put a little bit of plate and you take a picture, you eat it, then you go, okay, do I really need more? Do I really need more? And then that's when you start, no, and then you start pushing it away.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think like something that's helpful for me too, and you probably heard this before, but it's like not eating, like eating slower, not eating with like your phone in your hand or eating in front of the TV, because like those things, like it's easier to eat past what you need whenever you're just like, mindlessly watching TV or scrolling through Instagram or something like that. So for me, it's just being more mindful, putting the fork down after each bite. That helps me kind of be like, okay, I don't need to eat anymore. I can eat some of this later. Like every meal doesn't need to be finished like in the moment. I could save it for later and go do some things and, come back to it.
Yeah, and that's a mindset for me, man. I grew up where you had to eat everything on your plate. It was a sin if you didn't finish it, man.
Yep.
I'll be,
Me
and
too.
especially when I'm out and about, and most time when you go out to restaurants, they give you enough food to feed a damn horse. And I figure, well, I paid for it, I better eat it all, and it's not going to be good left over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to get used to the leaving food on the plate, and it's okay.
It'd be a
And
perception shift. And also, just real quick on that, is just you're just not going to serve yourself more than you need. That'll be a change of pace for you.
Mike, I grew up that way too. In that sense, it's I'm sure in the Italian culture is the same way. In Hispanic culture, it's disrespectful to leave unless you're going to grandma's.
Would
Because when
probably
you go to grandma's house, that's the sign that you're full. So I definitely understand that. Now, for me, when it comes to eating, I very much got drilled from the military, man. I eat fast as fuck. I just like swallow my food and stuff. So that definitely I should slow down now. No, Lucas, not that
Put your fork down after every bite. I'm like, you kidding me?
That
That
was
fork
something
doesn't go down.
I read
Levi.
that one time. Yeah, because
Levi.
I've always eaten really fast, like for
Yeah,
no reason too. It like obviously I'm not in the military. I don't have a reason to eat, scarf my food down. Like, and so I was like, heard one day it was like, there's certain habits that you can try to develop around, because your body, I think it takes like
20 minutes.
Yeah, it's like 20
Yeah,
minutes till you
15, 20
actually
minutes.
feel the food. So like you may not know you're full until, a while. So if you're eating slower, you're going to feel it quicker.
I'm done with every meal in like 10 minutes, no matter how much is there. I'm always the first one done at the table. And I think one of the things I'm going to maybe try doing is eat with my left hand. That'll be good for my mind.
Oh, there you go.
And it'll probably have me wearing food and eating slower. But I think I'm going to try that.
And maybe something to think about is maybe that's one of the first things that we work on this week is you're the last one to finish the food at the table.
Ooh.
That's
a long ass meal with my family, my wife and daughter.
just you have to pace yourself. But that might be a good challenge that we'll talk about tomorrow because his first call is tomorrow. But I like that. I like that. Yep. I like that a lot. That might be a challenge for you. All right.
They have a fork that if you go too fast, it shocks you.
Oh, really?
They do not.
Swear to God, they do.
Oh, wow. I thought you were joking. Oh, crap. That'd be electric, my man. It's electric.
Levi. So the plate's here. I'm sitting up. It's just the show, but he puts his face. He literally inhales the food. It's like, dude, slow down. And he'll go get a second plate of the same amount of food. And just
yeah, but his metabolism is probably out of this world.
He's moving.
Yeah,
he's swimming 2 to 3 hours a day. He used to, and now he's in taper modes, but he's lean and he's moves a lot and he needs a lot of food. Yeah. Yeah. I keep saying Levi, Bryce, potatoes, pasta, beans, cereal, oatmeal. Those are the things you have to eat on a regular basis. And during, not so much now, but he was in the beginning of the season, he would, and over summer, he would bake 5 to 6 potatoes in the microwave in the morning. Got taught him this, and he would take them with him, and you just eat them out of his pocket. He would pull them out and just start eating a whole potato in front of people, and it was amazing.
Wonder he
just
had so
pull
many
them out.
girlfriends because it was just bulging in the pocket area. I
That's
should have tried that
amazing.
as a kid. I think my problem
Yes.
was I misplaced them to my behind. People would run away.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
Those are big ass pockets. 6 potatoes in his
Well,
pocket.
I mean, they were maybe baseball size or a little smaller.
That's still big ass pockets.
Yeah, he wouldn't put them all in there. He'd put like 2 or 3 in at a time though, but then he'd have them off. The rest of them would be off in his lunchbox or something. But it was hilarious. And his friends know him for eating endless amounts of apples and potatoes. Like they literally get him potato and apple gifts for birthdays and stuff. It's hilarious.
Wow.
That's funny. I know you're restarting this, but let me tell you, man, you can do it. And it's pretty cool to be talking to somebody who just started. You can definitely do it. You can definitely do it.
Yep.
It looks like Lucas and I are like the forerunners now, huh? Goodness, we're setting the pace, coach.
Yeah.
The veterans.
We're the
Yeah,
OGs.
I'm-
Oh my God.
I am working so hard to keep trying to get people in here. So yeah.
I told Brian the timing is good for me. I just lost my mother a week ago Sunday to dementia.
Oh
And
man.
I used to see her almost every morning, so my mornings are good. I just started a new job yesterday, so I'm a little concerned about sitting on my ass because I'm not used to that. And we just started Lent today, and my daughter's getting married in 4 months. So there's the timing of all this is kind of all coming to a good, coincidence, so to speak. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's what.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
My
wow.
suggestion for you, man, get yourself a walking pad.
Yeah, if we need to
Walking pet.
add the
A walking
pad.
pad.
A
I don't know
walking
what that
pad.
is.
It's like
Oh.
it's like a mini
Yeah,
treadmill, but it's
yeah.
made for walking.
Okay, yeah, we have a pretty nice like gym quality treadmill, not treadmill, elliptical in the basement.
Yep.
I have a really nice
Those are great,
indoor
yeah.
cycling setup, with a big screen TV. So I've got all kinds of stuff available to me right here in my house. Plus, I belong to the gym that Brian used to be at. So,
Word.
but I
word.
do have a stand-up desk.
Yep.
I can do some meetings from my stand-up desk.
We'll get it going.
Yeah.
And one real interesting thing about the elliptical, I'll share it now. There's a guy that worked from home and he had an elliptical. I got him to shift the thought process around the elliptical. Every time he went to elliptical, he thought he had to just sweat a puddle and work so hard. I was like, no, dude, just move. Just go to the elliptical, move for 10 minutes. You don't need to sweat. And it was game changing. Literally, he just like, oh my gosh, like I can just go walk, I can just move like I'm walking and on this thing. It's like, yeah. And it was such a shift, huge shift. So we'll go over those things. All right, gentlemen, we're gonna wrap up. I usually try and wrap by 10:15 just so that because it can go on forever. But
Yeah.
excellent call. I appreciate you, Mike. Hopefully this is just a tune of what's to come, more fun, and we will be talking with you tomorrow. And I appreciate all you guys for jumping in here and participating. It's fun. This is great.
Peace
Yes,
out,
sir.
Danny, Brian. Thanks, Lucas. Good meeting you guys.
Yep.
Yeah,
Nice
good
to
to
meet
meet you.
man.
Get over. Thanks,
Yep.
guys. See you around.
All right.
Thank you. Have a good night, guys.
I want to thank you on this episode for listening in and getting here. It's important that you hear the real life dialogue and the things that are, say, behind the curtain on what men are doing in their lives and how they are performing to the best of their ability. And when they do that, then they can rise up in so many other areas of their life. And that's the coolest part about what my experience has been working with people for the last 23 plus years. It's incredible. You lose weight, confidence goes up, and big things start to change in your life for the better. If you're interested in the Call to Rise, what I have to offer to coach my guys and what it can do for you in a group setting, visit thecalltorise.com. Check it out. I answer an extensive amount of questions there, and then fill out a form and let's talk. And we'll see if I can help you and bring you into the team. All right, that's this episode. We'll catch you in the next one. It's going to be eating on the go. Yeah, that's something that everyone does and they need help with. All right, thank you.